so annoyed that I'm like, one of these days, I swear to God, I'm gonna get out of the car with a baseball bat and I'm going to like destroy their. At the same time, do I want to give anybody the power to like disturb my energy like that? No, but it's just like a feeling of, it's just annoying. It's the feeling of like hitting a breaking point of like, I can't stand it anymore.
Yeah. Hailey Bieber reportedly snapped, and not just over a rumor, but over a storm that's been quietly building in the shadows of her marriage. It started with whispers about Justin Bieber's song Ghost, a track fans are now convinced was written about his ex, Selena Gomez. But that wasn't what tipped things over. What really triggered the explosion was Justin allegedly liking multiple photos of Selena on Instagram. Not once, not casually, but repeatedly. These weren't innocent scrolls. This wasn't forgetfulness. It felt intentional, almost like a signal Hailey could see, and worse, a signal the entire internet could see too. And when the internet catches feelings, it catches fire. Hailey's reaction, as insiders claim, was nothing short of volcanic. But before we dissect the damage, we need to rewind. Because to truly understand the scale of this emotional earthquake, we have to return to where the fault lines began, with a relationship that never really stopped making headlines. Between 2010 and 2018, Justin and Selena weren't just a celebrity couple, they were a cultural obsession. Their relationship, constantly swaying between passion and chaos, played out in front of millions. Every tweet, every paparazzi photo, every public breakup or cryptic lyric was devoured by fans like a never-ending drama series. The hashtag Jelena became more than a ship name. It was a fandom identity. And here's the thing, Justin didn't just leave that behind. In multiple interviews, many of which are now resurfacing and spreading like wildfire, he openly called Selena his first real love. He talked about moving in with her at a young age, about how hard it was to walk away. And in a clip that's gone viral all over again, he said the part no wife ever wants to hear her husband admit, "I don't know if I'm still over it yet." Let that sink in. Not in 2012, not in 2014, but now, after vows have been exchanged, rings worn, and a new life supposedly built, Justin said, "There are still things that remind me of her." And for Hailey, that's not just uncomfortable, that's humiliating. Because when a husband says he's still haunted by a love that came before you, it's not just emotional baggage, it's an emotional betrayal. And unfortunately for Hailey, this wasn't the last time Justin made the past feel very, very present. The Heartbreak soundtrack didn't stop with confessions. Justin's music has always served as a mirror to his inner world. And when Ghost dropped, it stirred up more than just streams. Fans didn't need to dig deep. The lyrics were loud enough. "I miss you more than life." That line hit like a lightning bolt. Many couldn't help but draw comparisons to Selena's own 2014 track Ghost of You, with some calling it more than a coincidence. A lyrical echo across time. Social media lit up with fan theories, some saying outright, "Justin Bieber definitely wrote Ghost about Selena Gomez. You can't convince me otherwise." The posts multiplied, the speculation went viral, and the theory took on a life of its own. Of course, Justin tried to steer the narrative, claiming in interviews that the song was about grief during the pandemic. But to the fan base that's followed his every move for more than a decade, that explanation felt a little too clean. Especially when anyone, a completely different song, was publicly confirmed as a love letter to Hailey. In a 2021 interview, Justin shared how watching Hailey hold a baby triggered an aha moment, the realization that she was the one. It was heartfelt. It was beautiful. But it also raised a few eyebrows, because while anyone was about Hailey, Ghost still felt like it had a shadow lingering behind it. And for some of us, the question remains, which version of Justin are we getting? The one who's out here dreaming of fatherhood with Hailey? Or the one who's still writing musical eulogies for a relationship he supposedly buried years ago? Then came the interviews, the ones that keep aging like spoiled milk. In another sit-down that fans have dragged back into the spotlight, Justin again said something that turned heads and twisted stomachs. "She's someone I love dearly, dude. I'm never going to stop loving her. I'm never going to stop checking in on her." And he wasn't talking about Hailey. He was talking about Selena. He even went on to say that he didn't believe relationships needed to end unless they were toxic or harmful, emotionally or physically. That they always respected each other, that there's still love there. And the part that's hard to ignore, He didn't say these things in some nostalgic montage. He said them while married, publicly, and with full conviction. Hailey, somewhere, had to be watching. Somewhere, she had to hear her husband say that he still checks on another woman, the woman who came before her, and that he would never stop loving her. If that doesn't make your stomach drop, you haven't been paying attention. And if you think it ends there, think again, because there's another clip floating around where Justin's asked to name the highlight of his teenage years. And what does he say, without hesitation? Probably my relationship with my ex-girlfriend. Just imagine being Hailey. Imagine being pregnant, married, building a life. And your husband's emotional greatest hits still star someone else. It's the kind of thing that doesn't just hurt. It lingers. It infects everything. The internet, of course, did what it always does. It started digging. Because if there's one thing fans have mastered, it's digital forensics. Reddit. Threads lit up, TikToks were dissected frame by frame, and soon an unsettling pattern emerged. Some fans alleged that Justin had been quietly monitoring Selena's social media for years, possibly even through burner accounts. It wasn't just a theory, it was a timeline, liking old photos, watching stories, and all while being married. While Justin had already admitted in interviews that he still checks in on Selena and cares about her well-being, the idea of active surveillance, even passive engagement, painted a different picture. One that didn't look like casual care or nostalgic respect. It looked like fixation. And when that kind of fixation lives inside a marriage, it's not just awkward, it's emotionally damaging. What makes it worse is that this behavior isn't a one-off. Fans pointed to a consistent pattern. They claim that every time Selena's in a new relationship, Justin's energy shifts. He's shaded The Weeknd. Been weird about Zayn. Suddenly, cool with Charlie Puth. If true, it's a decade-long trend of jealousy masked as nonchalance. And while fans might debate the receipts, the impact on Hailey is not up for discussion. Because now, her husband's past isn't just haunting their present. It's publicly undermining her position in his life. So, how is Hailey really doing through all of this? According to insiders, not well. And honestly, who could blame her? Finding out your husband is engaging with his ex's content is one thing, but watching the internet turn it into a viral moment of public embarrassment, that's next level. Humiliation. Sources close to Hailey say she's livid, not quietly upset, not privately disappointed, livid. And apparently, it's not the first time. Reports suggest that ever since they got married, things between Justin and Hailey haven't exactly been picture perfect. Some say Justin has a pattern of brushing off Hailey's concerns, especially when it comes to his mental health and emotional availability. While she's been pouring herself into her beauty brand, he's been spending more time with friends, a setup that some insiders claim is driving a wedge between them. And the drama hasn't stayed behind closed doors. In January 2025, fans noticed that Justin had unfollowed Hailey on Instagram. He later blamed it on a chaos agent, whatever that means. Then in March, Hailey was accused of unfollowing Justin, only to explain it away as a TikTok glitch. But with both sides posting cryptic messages, Justin referencing drowning and anger issues, Hailey alluding to false narratives, the internet didn't need much to start connecting the dots. Whether the posts were about each other or not, they added fuel to a fire that was already burning. In an attempt to quiet the noise, both Justin and Hailey took their stories public. On April 25, 2025, Justin posted on X, formerly Twitter, addressing the speculation with a cryptic line, "They treat me like here, but if I remember that I am flawed too and God forgave me." The same day, Hailey posted her own rebuttal. "Just FYI, the stories and constant blind items I see on TikTok are 100% of the time wrong, made out of thin air from the land of delusion." She went on to say that while it may be fun for people to feed into these narratives, they are always false. But are these denials enough to drown out what the internet already believes? Many fans think not. The contrast between Justin's marriage to Hailey and his relationship with Selena continues to spark comparisons, especially since Selena's engagement to Benny Blanco in December 2024. That announcement alone sent shockwaves through fan communities. And now, everything Justin posts, from a meme to a selfie, is being interpreted through that emotional lens. For many, Jelena never really ended. It just mutated into something harder to define, and the commentary hasn't stopped. On May 2, 2025, a user named Lewis91Walls posted, Justin Bieber still posting about Selena? Oh, he's not over it. Another user wrote, Justin Bieber shares on Instagram that he still keeps his eyes on Selena Gomez. But not everyone. Agreed. One post pushed back. No way Justin Bieber is still thinking about Selena Gomez in Big 2025. A married man with a whole child, mind you. And yet, the media coverage added even more layers. On April 3, 2025, the Daily Mail published a feature documenting fan reactions to Justin's recent Instagram posts, including one where he used a Gollum meme that read, "Girls on social, media when they get engaged." Many saw this as a direct, if petty, jab at Selena. Fan replies on X were just as blunt. I see why Hailey is obsessed. Her man is still thinking about his ex. And Justin Bieber going crazy because of Selena's engagement. Karma is real. Even Newsweek got involved. On December 18th, 2024, they ran a piece about a selfie Justin posted with Hailey, accompanied by the song All My Ghosts by Lizzie McAlpine. Fans weren't subtle in their interpretations. One comment read, "Why that song? We know why you posted this." Another simply said, "Listen to the lyrics, Justin sending Selena a message." And perhaps the most chilling of all, he's like, "Damn, I got married, I had a kid. But her engagement, that hit me like a knife." It's all in his eyes. And if you think the situation couldn't get more complicated, enter the accusation that Hailey has been copying Selena, not just in style, but in career moves. According to a widely circulated YouTube breakdown, Hailey has posted dozens of photos wearing outfits nearly identical to Selena's, sometimes within 24 hours of her. One of the most talked about examples happened in June 2015 when Selena revealed a delicate G tattoo behind her ear, a tribute to her little sister Gracie. Just 12 days later, Hailey Baldwin appeared in public with a nearly identical G tattoo in the same exact location. Hailey would later say the tattoo honored her pastor's daughter, Georgia. But for many, the timing and placement raised eyebrows that never quite lowered. And it didn't stop there. In recent years, Hailey launched her own cooking show, What's in My Kitchen? A project that fans instantly compared to Selena Plus Chef, which premiered 2 years earlier. Same format, similar lighting. Even the introductions felt eerily alike. Whether coincidence or calculation, the comparisons refused to die. And when you add this long history of visual, stylistic, and now professional overlap into the current mix of emotional tension, it makes sense why Hailey's alleged fury over Justin's recent actions feels personal. If she spent years trying to become the center of his world, perhaps even becoming someone he once loved, then seeing him visibly still connected to that original someone, that's not just frustrating, that's devastating. Insiders say Hailey hasn't just been emotional, she's been assertive. According to multiple sources, she confronted Justin directly, not with vague frustration, but with a demand for accountability. She reportedly told him this wasn't just about Instagram likes or old interviews. This was about emotional boundaries, public respect, and the very foundation of their marriage. She allegedly told Justin to publicly acknowledge that his actions were inappropriate and reaffirm his commitment to their relationship. And perhaps most dramatically, sources claim she gave him a clear ultimatum. Either commit to couples therapy to work through what she believes are unresolved feelings for Selena, or she'll reevaluate the future of their marriage. This ultimatum carries even more weight now that the couple is expecting their first child. Yes, Hailey is pregnant. And while that news should be a turning point of joy, it's now being shadowed by layers of tension, suspicion, and deeply unspoken emotions. Reports suggest she's leaning heavily on Kendall Jenner during this time, her longtime best friend. According to singer Justine Skye, Kendall has been a constant presence at Hailey's side, offering emotional support during what might be the most emotionally volatile chapter of her life. But Kendall's role here isn't without complications. Because if the rumors are true, she may be holding secrets that could shatter this whole narrative. And in the world of Hollywood loyalty, silence can speak louder than betrayal. Here's where it all starts to unravel even more, because Kendall Jenner, the quiet, ever-present best friend in this story, might not be as neutral as she seems. According to BuzzFeed, Kendall and Justin reportedly had a casual dating history just a few years before his marriage to Hailey. And that changes everything. It adds a layer of discomfort, of blurred lines, and of complicated loyalties to an already messy triangle. During an Instagram live session in April 2020 with Justin and Hailey, Kendall was asked if she saw their marriage coming. Her answer? Honestly, no. She added, I didn't know. I think I hoped. Obviously, Hales is my lady, my best friend, and I wanted it so bad for both of you. It just makes me really happy. On the surface, it sounds sweet, supportive, even. But between the lines, that's a whole different story. Why didn't she see it coming? What did she know back then that made her surprised when Justin proposed? Could it be because she still sensed unresolved feelings between Justin and Selena, or because she had been involved herself? If she and Justin really did have a romantic past, her surprise isn't just about being blindsided, it's a quiet alarm bell. And it doesn't stop there. Kendall's silence on all things Selena, despite being close to both Hailey and Justin, has only amplified speculation. Her refusal to take a clear stance, even when things were blowing up online, makes it all feel like she's been playing both sides while guarding her own piece of the puzzle. The TikTok world didn't let Kendall off the hook either. In January 2023, Hailey, Kendall, and Justine Skye posted a now infamous video lip-syncing to the audio. I'm not saying she deserves it, but God's timing is always right. The timing couldn't have been worse. Selena was under fire for body shaming at the time, and fans interpreted the video as a not-so-subtle jab. The backlash was immediate and brutal. The video was deleted, but the internet never forgets. And it got worse. Just a month later, Selena posted a TikTok showing off her overly laminated eyebrows. Shortly after, Kylie Jenner uploaded a post, zooming in on her and Hailey's eyebrows, captioned, "This was an accident?" along with a FaceTime screenshot between the two. Fans exploded. The mocked Team Selena hashtag racked up over 1.8 billion views. And through all of it, Kendall remained publicly silent, never defending, never explaining, just standing beside Hailey, even as the internet accused her of being a quiet co-conspirator. The silence was strategic, sure, but also deafening. And for someone so deeply embedded in the triangle, someone who once vacationed with Selena, then watched her disappear from Justin's life while Hailey entered, the lack of comment started to look like more than just restraint. It started to look like complicity. Whether she was trying to stay neutral or protect someone, the result was the same. Kendall knew something, and her silence let the rest of us fill in the blanks. And it's not just Kendall's silence that has fans raising eyebrows, it's the pattern. Despite all the mounting tension, she's continued to be seen with Hailey, sharing dinners, doing Pilates, attending events, and posting friendship snapshots. As recently as January 2025, they were spotted dining together in West Hollywood, smiling for the cameras like nothing was going on. But fans couldn't help but ask, was this loyalty, or was Kendall simply trying to keep one hand on the lid of a boiling pot? Her continued presence in Hailey's life while remaining mum on all the Selena drama has become its own kind of statement. And if she truly knows everything, from Justin's alleged affairs to Hailey's obsession with being Selena 2.0, then her silence isn't neutral. It's protective, it's strategic, and maybe, just maybe, it's self-preserving. Because if Kendall started talking, she wouldn't just be telling Hailey's secrets. She might have to confess how deep she herself was tied into this saga. Meanwhile, the triangle continues to twist. One theory that's taken hold, and we're talking viral level traction, is that Selena's sudden New Year's Eve trip to Dubai with Kendall and Gigi Hadid in 2014 wasn't just a vacation, it was a setup. Fans speculate the real reason Selena was encouraged to go abroad was to give Hailey and Justin the opening they needed. With Selena out of the country, their chance to reconnect without interference became wide open. And right on cue, Justin and Hailey were seen together, then engaged, then married. That rapid timeline has always raised questions. Selena even addressed it, indirectly, in her 2018 ballad, Lose You to Love Me, singing, "In 2 months, you replaced us like it was easy." And fans did the math. 2 months between the breakup with Selena and the engagement to Hailey. Coincidence? Some think not. Others have gone even deeper, alleging that Hailey's entire relationship with Justin, from the tattoos to her business moves, has mirrored Selena's. That she didn't just want Justin, she wanted his history, his aesthetic, his past. And when you put all that into the context of Justin now engaging with Selena's photos, writing ambiguous lyrics, and dropping memes at key moments, it's no longer just a love triangle. It's a full-blown psychological maze. One where no one knows who they're really married to, and who's still living rent-free in whose heart. And then there's the cheating timeline. the one fans have pieced together over years of posts, screenshots, and eyebrow-raising interviews. From the Barbara Palvin incident in 2012 to rumors of secret flings with Kendall Jenner and others in Justin's inner circle, a narrative has taken shape. Not all of it's confirmed, of course, but that hasn't stopped the internet from connecting the dots. Back when Justin performed at the Victoria's Secret fashion show, fans couldn't ignore the chemistry between him and Barbara. Then, Selena posted a suspiciously timed photo, prompting speculation that something had gone down. Add to that the whispers about Justin and Kendall allegedly hooking up behind Selena's back, something that Reddit threads still debate to this day. And it's clear this drama didn't start in 2024. It's been simmering for more than a decade. And if you need more fuel, there's the 2016 Instagram meltdown. Selena called Justin out publicly, accusing him of cheating multiple times. Screenshots went viral, the fandom went nuclear. It wasn't just relationship tea, it was the emotional autopsy of a romance that millions had watched unravel in real time. Fast forward to 2020, and Justin finally admits to past infidelity. In a rare moment of honesty, he says in an interview, "I'd done that in the past." He doesn't name names, he doesn't have to, everyone knows who he's talking about. And then he drops "I'll Show You," a track paired with visuals of Iceland's stark, unforgiving beauty, a metaphor, perhaps, for the isolation he felt while climbing out of the mess he created. But here's the twist. While Justin is out here telling the world he's changed, fans aren't convinced. In March 2024, he commented on Madison Beer's birthday post with flirty emojis, something that sent the internet spiraling. Some dismissed it as harmless, others called it disrespectful. But in the context of his emotional history, in the context of Hailey being pregnant, it didn't feel innocent. It felt sloppy. And when your marriage is already under a microscope, those tiny, reckless actions start to paint a much bigger picture. One of a man who might love his wife, but hasn't fully closed the door on his past. And maybe never will. Things only escalated when the internet turned its attention toward Hailey herself. And the TikToks got ruthless. By March 2025, rumors were flying that Hailey was ready to pursue legal action against viral creators who had painted her as a bully, a stalker, and even a Selena copycat. The timing wasn't random. This was months after she gave birth to her and Justin's son, Jack Blues Bieber, in August 2024, a moment that should have been peaceful and joyful, but instead was overshadowed by a resurgence of online hate. People weren't just calling her names. They were dissecting every move she made. From the way she styled her hair to her business decisions, fans were claiming that Hailey was not just imitating Selena, but actively trying to be her. And when you're a new mother trying to build a family and legacy with your husband, that kind of narrative doesn't just sting, it dismantles your sense of identity. Some blind items even claimed that Hailey had come to accept Justin's history of cheating, as long as she was still the wife in the spotlight, that she was okay with it as long as she knew. If those claims are even halfway true, they suggest a deeply fractured relationship. One built not on trust, but on public image management and emotional survival. And then, because this story never stops twisting, came the Kendall angle. Again, because while she's long been seen as Hailey's ride-or-die best friend, her connection to Justin and his past behavior has never fully disappeared from public consciousness. Fans began asking the hard question, is Kendall a supportive friend or a silent witness? And more importantly, is she hiding things? Some speculate that Kendall's continued closeness to both Hailey and Justin makes her complicit in maintaining the illusion. Because if Justin has been unfaithful, emotionally or otherwise, Kendall would know. And yet, she hasn't distanced herself. She hasn't called anything out. In fact, she's maintained a kind of curated silence that speaks volumes. And in the world of celebrity drama, that kind of silence isn't passive. It's a strategy. It's a shield. And it may be what's keeping some of the messiest secrets from exploding completely. But as Hailey's marriage continues to crack in the public eye, even Kendall's careful neutrality might not be enough to hold everything together. Because fans aren't just speculating anymore. They're watching closely. And with every move, every photo, every subtle post, they're putting together a story that Hailey and Justin may no longer be able to control. The triangle between Justin, Hailey, and Selena has never really gone away. It's just changed shape. And now, more than ever, Fans are obsessed with what Kendall Jenner knows and what she might be hiding. Because if Justin's lingering attachment to Selena is real, then Kendall is standing at the intersection of that emotional collision. After all, she was close to Selena once, she's family to the Kardashians, she's best friends with Hailey, she has a history, possibly romantic, with Justin. That's not just proximity, that's access. And in Hollywood, access is power. So when Kendall shows up at dinner with Hailey, stays silent during viral feuds, or appears on social media with a knowing smile, fans aren't seeing coincidence, they're seeing calculation. Every no comment, every deleted post, every eyebrow raise becomes evidence. And in this ongoing saga, Kendall's silence has become its own form of storytelling, one that hints at secrets only those in the inner circle will ever truly understand. But perhaps the most haunting theory is the one no one wants to believe. The idea that before Justin married Hailey, something devastating happened behind the scenes. According to a particularly viral blind item, Justin and Selena's brief reunion in 2018, the one that ended just months before he married Hailey, may have involved an unexpected pregnancy followed by a miscarriage. There's no confirmed evidence, no direct admission, but the rumor lingers like smoke. And if it's true, it adds an entirely new dimension to everything that followed. It would explain the emotional whiplash, the abrupt wedding, the wellness, retreats, the unspoken grief. And if Kendall knew about it, which many believe she did, her silence becomes even heavier. Because now it's not just about drama or fashion or social media games. It's about trauma, loss, and secrets so deeply buried they might never be acknowledged out loud. And yet, somehow they keep showing up. In Justin's eyes, in Hailey's posts, in Selena's songs. The triangle never broke. It just buried itself beneath layers of denial, resentment, and very public smiles. And the mirroring hasn't stopped. Fans have spent years compiling side-by-side comparisons that show Hailey allegedly copying Selena. Not once, not occasionally, but repeatedly. Outfits, poses, hairstyles, even tattoos. One of the most circulated examples remains that G tattoo behind the ear, Selena's tribute to her sister Gracie, followed just days later by Hailey's almost identical ink in the exact same place. Hailey says hers is for her pastor's daughter Georgia, but the timing still sends fans spiraling. It didn't end there. From the launch of Rare Beauty to Selena plus Chef, every major move Selena has made seems to echo later in Hailey's world, like a shadow that's trying desperately to become the source. When Hailey launched What's in My Kitchen, comparisons were immediate. Fans noticed everything from the production setup to the intro style mimicked Selena's cooking show. Some called it inspiration, others called it imitation. And if Kendall, fashion mogul, media savvy model, and Hailey's closest friend, saw all of this unfold and said nothing, then her silence starts to feel like something darker, quiet approval, quiet collaboration. Because let's be honest, if your best friend is building her public identity in the image of her husband's ex, and you're just standing there smiling, you're not just a bystander, you're part of the campaign. And there's more. Allegations surfaced in early 2018 that Hailey, alongside her pastor's wife, would reportedly drive past the psychiatric facility where Selena was staying to check on her. That's not casual shade. That's not subtle rivalry. That's surveillance. The Priya Swiss Clinic in Connecticut is a place of healing for high-profile individuals looking for peace, not a pit stop for emotional espionage. If true, it paints Hailey not as a rival, but as someone deeply obsessed with controlling the narrative around Selena's presence in her life. And once again, if Kendall knew and didn't intervene, then her silence isn't neutral. It's complicity. Now, fast forward to Selena's engagement to Benny Blanco in December 2024. And what do we see? Justin, days later, posts a Lord of the Rings meme, the infamous Gollum one. Girls on social media when they get engaged. Subtle, not remotely, the timing alone was enough to send fans into another frenzy. Then, just days later, he posts a photo with Hailey set to All My Ghosts by Lizzie McAlpine, lyrics about haunting memories, lingering attachments. Fans didn't need much to make the connection. He's not over it, they tweeted. Selena's engagement broke him. And Hailey, she was nowhere in the captions, just standing beside a man who still seemed to be looking backwards. If Kendall really is as close to Justin and Hailey as everyone says, then none of this could be news to her. She would have seen the Instagram posts, heard the lyrics, known about the engagement, and possibly even been one of the first to sense the emotional shift. And yet, she's said nothing. Through every viral clip, every fan theory, every awkward red carpet moment, she's kept quiet. But to many fans, that silence has become its own form of confirmation. Because if she truly believed Justin had moved on, if she truly saw Hailey as unbothered, wouldn't she say something? Wouldn't she stand up for her best friend? Instead, her continued support, showing up at events, tagging along on public outings, playing the role of silent cheerleader, has begun to look more like reputation management than real friendship. Especially when you remember that Kendall is also someone who was once allegedly romantically tied to Justin. That dynamic alone adds an uncomfortable edge to her presence in this entire saga. Because at this point, she's not just a friend. She's a keeper of secrets. And let's not forget the commentary from outside the Jenner-Bieber bubble. Talk show icon Wendy Williams wasn't shy about her doubts. In July 2018, right after Justin and Hailey's whirlwind engagement, Wendy went on record saying, "I don't think this marriage will last." She even suggested the whole union might be financially motivated, speculating that Hailey's father, Stephen Baldwin, saw Justin as a ticket back into the spotlight. Harsh? Maybe, but not without reason. As Wendy put it, the Baldwins look at Bieber as a cash cow, and her words only got louder as the months wore on. In September 2018, Wendy doubled down, adding that Justin was spotted doing a drive-by at Selena's shortly after the honeymoon phase ended. Fans didn't brush this off. They archived it. They remembered. Because it wasn't just shade. It was foreshadowing. And in retrospect, it feels almost prophetic. From day one, the cracks were visible. From the rushed timeline to the complicated emotional history, something always felt a little unfinished. And now, with Selena engaged, Justin spiraling, Hailey retreating, and Kendall silently orbiting them both, it's hard not to wonder whether the marriage everyone doubted is quietly unraveling in real time. The unraveling isn't just visible in rumors. It's been documented in real time. Fans have caught Hailey and Justin arriving at events separately, leaving through different exits, and even allegedly living apart for stretches of time. And when people start whispering about physical separation, the emotional distance is already assumed. Add that to the rumors of depression, substance abuse, and quiet arguments behind closed doors, and you start to see a marriage that's not just struggling, it's barely holding on. Blind items flood in like clockwork, hinting at everything from infidelity to secret therapy sessions to dramatic screaming matches that never make the headlines. And every time one of those rumors bubbles up, Kendall is there, posted up next to Hailey, smiling for photos, but never once challenging the story. It's almost like she knows the truth, but understands that playing neutral is her only way to stay close to the fire without getting burned. But the longer she stays silent, the more that fire starts to expose what's underneath. Some fans believe that Kendall is the unspoken link keeping it all together, not out of love, but out of preservation. Because if even half of what's alleged about Justin and Selena's 2018 reunion is true, the pregnancy, the miscarriage, the emotional collapse, then there are truths so volatile they could destroy reputations. And Kendall, who's managed to stay clean while standing in the center of it all, might just be the keeper of those truths. That's why she doesn't speak. That's why she keeps showing up. Because if everything comes crashing down, her own image might come with it. And yet, the cracks are visible. The timelines, the tattoos, the silence, the mirrored business ventures, the awkward press clips, the emotional confessions, the Gollum memes. It's all there. And no matter how carefully these celebrities curate their social media, the fans see the patterns. They hear the echoes in the music, read between the captions, and notice when something that should be private is actually playing out in public view. And as more people start putting the puzzle together, it's clear this story is no longer about a love triangle. It's about emotional survival and what happens when the past refuses to stay buried. And maybe that's what makes this saga so magnetic. The fact that no matter how many times these people try to move forward, they remain tethered to the past. Because Justin Bieber isn't just a celebrity. He's someone who's grown up entirely under a microscope, with every misstep and mistake broadcast in real time. His 2019 Vogue interview revealed a dark truth. that fame had broken him. He spoke of deep depression, loneliness on tour, and the overwhelming pressure of being a global icon before he was old enough to vote. In a BBC essay, he admitted that by 19 he was abusing drugs and destroying relationships. Not because he didn't care, but because no one taught him how to cope with the weight of being idolized. And when you add fame, trauma, and unresolved emotional ties together, it's not surprising that Justin's relationships have suffered. Hailey came into his life as he was trying to rebuild, trying to reshape the shattered pieces of his identity into something stable. But maybe the foundation was never solid to begin with. Maybe the ghost of Jelena, the one fans can't stop talking about, still lingers because Justin himself hasn't figured out how to let it go. In interviews, songs, and cryptic posts, Justin has been more honest than most celebrities ever dare to be. He's talked about suicidal thoughts, about needing to cancel tours for his mental health, about therapy and faith and the slow, painful process of healing. And yet, despite all that vulnerability, the world continues to watch him with suspicion, wondering if every lyric is a message to Selena, if every selfie with Hailey is performative. That level of scrutiny would break anyone. And the numbers don't lie. According to the National Institute of Mental Health, 12.5% of teens between 12 and 17 reported a major depressive episode in 2015. That number rises significantly by the time they reach adulthood. Suicide remains the second leading cause of death for people aged 15 to 19. Justin isn't just navigating fame, he's navigating trauma in an industry that rewards image over introspection. And Hailey, meanwhile, is expected to hold it all together, to be the anchor, the stable one, the wife, the mother, the brand. But even anchors can crack under pressure. And as the spotlight continues to pull apart the seams of their marriage, the world is watching to see if what's left will be something they can rebuild, or something that will quietly fall apart off camera while the internet crafts its own ending. And through all of it, the heartbreak, the headlines, the speculation, there's still one question that refuses to die. Does Justin Bieber still love Selena Gomez? It's not a question with an easy answer, because love doesn't always disappear when the relationship ends. Sometimes it lingers, morphs, softens, hides behind memories or melodies, but never truly leaves. For fans, the answer is obvious. They read it in his lyrics. They see it in his Instagram posts. They hear it in the way he talks about the past. But for others, especially those who know what it's like to grow up, mess up, and try to move on, they understand it might be more complicated than just yes or no. What's undeniable is that this love triangle has outgrown gossip. It's become a portrait of what it means to be human in an age where private emotions are public property. Justin's mental health journey, Hailey's fight for stability, Selena's healing and independence. These are not just celebrity milestones. They're real, they're painful, and they're messy. And maybe that's why people can't look away. Because beneath the filters, the red carpet photos, and the viral rumors, these three people represent something universal. The struggle to let go of what once defined you, the fear that you'll never be enough for someone who once loved someone else, the desire to grow, even when the world keeps reminding you of who you used to be. As fans, maybe it's time we stop choosing sides. Maybe it's time we stop trying to crown winners in a story where everyone has bled. Instead, we can acknowledge what they've given us: music, vulnerability, resilience, and remember that behind every tweet, every song, and every curated post are just human beings still figuring it out. Whether Justin's heart belongs to Hailey or still beats for Selena may never be something we get a definitive answer to. And maybe that's okay, because the truth is, the human heart doesn't always follow logic, and it rarely cares what social media has to say. What we're witnessing isn't just drama, it's the raw, unfiltered process of growth, heartbreak, and the desperate attempt to rewrite your story while the world watches, judges, and refuses to forget. The question isn't who he loves more. The real question is, when the cameras go off and the noise dies down, who is he when no one's looking?